Hello and welcome to my Notion setup for my Camp NaNoWriMo novel. Camp NaNoWriMo is a month-long event where you can write any kind of book, any kind of book of essays, story collection. It doesn't have to be 50,000 words like it does in November. And so for this month, I'm writing a middle grade novel. Right now, I'm using all sample data in this, but I just wanted to show how I have structured the outline and everything of my new novel in Notion so I can keep track of all the different moving pieces. So up at the top in my favorites, we have two sections here, Book Bible and NaNoWriMo. This is going to be my daily word count tracker. We'll get to those in a little bit. I wanted to get through the rest of this because they sort of everything goes into the book Bible at the end. So we'll start with research. Research doesn't really have anything in it right now. This is all sample data. But if I have articles that I want to store, links I need to track, I can put them here. And if you just highlight text here, you can turn it into different things. You can turn it into a page. You can turn it into code, text. Down here I have notes that I've made, and it's simple as just adding an asterisk and creating a new note. And down here I have another note section, and you can create pages within this. If I click this, I can create a new page, and we can call this one links, and I can give it an icon, and I can give it a cover, so I have something to sort of identify it by. We'll just leave that as the static one, and we're going to just do this empty with icon. And there we go. We have a new links page in our research section. Underneath I have work in progress, and this section has everything from outline. This is where I track my daily word count, my characters, and my settings. So my outline is a table. This is the chapter section here along the side. In Notion, your tables, the first column of every table is the name column. I renamed it to chapter name. It could be called title, it could be called anything. So in my books, I typically don't name my chapters, but if I did, let's say each chapter had a different title to it, I could then identify it by the actual chapter number in the next column, which I created, and this goes into my chapters database. And then characters, setting, and then these are the beats of each chapter that I want to hit. So this could be as detailed or as simple as you want. If you just need a couple of bullet points to know where you're going, that's totally fine. But if I wanted to really drag this out and create new outline bullet points, I could do that here and really go as deep as I wanted to the point where I could feasibly write the chapter within this column. It would be very long and make the table much longer, but it's a way to keep track of your work and your progress on the novel. And so all of these where you see the arrow, these are all relations to other databases. So there's a chapter database, a characters, and a setting database. And so when I go into these, I can see what chapters my characters appear in, or what chapters my settings appear in, which is great because if I need to go back and edit, let's say I change a scene, maybe I change the name of a character, maybe I change the place, and I want to know where that setting was used. I might not call that setting by its name. It just might be assumed that's where they are. So I'll know, looking at this, oh, Callie's house is in chapter 3. I can go in and change that if I need to just by looking at this column. So it's all related to each other, and it really helps me keep track. I also have a description here of my settings, just so I remember what they look like. And then this is another area. When you link two tables, it creates columns in both. So that was my outline and technically my characters and my settings. We'll just go back to characters real quick. So I gave every little person their own icon. And when you open these up, these are technically pages. So for here, I have, it's a stock photo of a girl who I thought looked like this character. And I have a little emoji icon here so I can identify, all right, Callie is a young girl. What is her relationship to the main character? What chapters she appears in? What are her characteristics? Just so I can remember, what character it is I'm writing for when it's their point of view. And then what lessons she learns by the end. I want to make sure I adhere to a structure and adhere to a lesson for each person to learn so that there's growth throughout the novel. And if I need to add another property, I can do that here. And I have a whole array of different properties to select from. Might be how old is she, and I can make that a number property. I could do a multi-select and give her different characteristics. And if I don't need a property, I can delete it. Just like that. So if I wanted to get a much bigger overview, I have some areas in Notion that have really, really long lists that span top to bottom. So I can open this as a page, and it will allow me to just view everything all at once here. Down here I have my settings. So we went through that a little bit here. The manner, same thing here. All of these open as a page. I can add as many properties as I want to track them. I didn't get too in depth here because this is a demo. Even in the actual template I'm using, I'm not using much more than this. In fact, this is pretty much all I'm using. I don't need to keep track of a whole lot. I'm really focusing on getting the words down because this is an event where I have 31 days to write a novel. So I'm not going too in depth on all the descriptions and everything, and I can go back and fix things later if I need to. Daily word count. So this came from a place called GroovyWink, and I'll put a link in the description. But this was, someone had already built this as a NaNoWriMo tracker, and I had to do a little finagling to fix this, and I still need to finish recalculating all of the word counts here. I believe I got up to 15 days, but this all tracks how many words I need to hit each day. So I need, because it's 31 days and not 30 days like in November, I can get a lower word count and still make my minimum. So I need to hit 1,613 words this month each day. And so these little formulas, this little symbol here, you'll see, these calculate formulas. So I need to hit, I did 1667. I'm above my count target by 54 words. And this is how many words I have remaining in my novel because I've set my minimum, this one here, edit formula. 50,000. This is my total word count. So if your total word count is something else, you can change this to, let's say, 20,000, 15,000. Maybe it's something completely different. And then I'm just manually calculating all of these numbers down this column to keep track of everything. And then this is how much I need left per day to make that 50,000 minimum by the end of the month. So if I overshoot my target, that's great. This number will go down each day the more I do that. But if I miss my target, if I skip a day, this is going to add those words on that I missed so I can make my minimum by the end of the month. This here is a calendar, so I can just select, all right, this is the first day I'm writing. I actually haven't written anything yet. This is just for sample data. And we're going to clear this out as well and just leave it as a blank slate. So when I start writing, we'll be good to go. So day one, this all calculates all throughout the next days. So underneath, in the bottom left here, this is my submission materials. I have my query letter here. This is the query letter I was sending out when I was still querying the novel before I decided to self-publish it. I have my synopsis here as well, and everything is stored right in this section. Really simple, cover photo, icon, and then these are the pitches I was using for PitMad. And then if I have any other pitches that I want to add, let's say I have another pitch contest. Let's say I not that I would, but if I was doing the DV Pit, which is a diversity pitch contest, or if there was an own voices contest that you might be doing, you can write toggle here. So / gives you the ability to add a new section that is formatted to a specific thing. So you can add a new page here. You can add a to-do list. So if I add a to-do list, add new pitch contest section. And if I hit enter, it adds a brand new checkbox, and I can check this off when I'm done, and it crosses it out. But for this, I want to do toggle. So I'm going to do a toggle, and this creates a little arrow that expands. And down here, I can simply type. I can call this toggle, DV Pit. And then down here, I can start working on my new pitch. And when I don't want to see it, I can just collapse the arrow, and it goes away, and it cleans everything up. I'm going to delete this here, get rid of it. So everything here that I've described goes into a section called the Book Bible, and I've added both the Book Bible and NaNoWriMo to my favorites so that they're always available. Book Bible is great because I have essentially added everything here. Up top, I have my outline. It's in table format, and I can see everything at a glance. When I collapse that, I've got my access to my submission materials here, so once the novel's done, I can start querying. I've got a link to my research section. I've got a little scratch pad here, an idea about the ending or, what my main character should do. And I've got title ideas here. And you can create all new sections here if you want. You don't have to adhere to what I've created. You can rename these to anything you want. You can delete them if you want by clicking this little 6-dot icon here and just deleting the section entirely. What's great about Notion is it allows you to create the kind of database and the kind of workspace you really want and that works for you. My metrics here, this is my daily word count, and I have this set up with a filter to only show me when the date is today. So I only ever need to put in the target date, put in the date and the target word count and everything for the day I'm working on. And tomorrow this will bump up to 2 and 3 and 4. So I don't have to worry about going into this NaNoWriMo section here and doing it over and over and over again. What I will need to do, however, is make sure that this is all set up with different days consecutively. Third, fourth, so that those do populate in the book Bible on their correct days. So you'll just have to do that on your side as well. Tomorrow's focus. I have count of three things here that I want to work on tomorrow. So let's say I don't finish a chapter, but I know where I need to go the next day I start writing. So I'm going to write down those 3 story beats that I want to address tomorrow, so I don't sit down at my computer and wonder, okay, what do I do next? So this is a great way to focus and get ready for the next day, so you're not struggling with writer's block when you sit down at your computer the next day. And down here in this toggle, I have my characters. And, for example, when I was writing The Prophet, which is all the sample data I've been using here, Sam Elliott was who I had in mind for the character of Max Barker. So I have his picture here as a reminder of what kind of character I'm writing for. And I've got this picture of Amy Adams for the character of Callie's mother, and here's the stock photo for Callie. And you can do this for all the characters you have, or maybe only you want to do a handful of the main and side characters you have. So just to keep an idea of all the different characters you're writing for, and what kinds of points of view they have, and their tones of voice, and their mannerisms, and even their dialects, all of that kind of stuff. It just helps keep everything in one place. And down here I have a little table for my settings as well. So the best part of this is I don't have to go into every single section and bounce back and forth. I can just scroll up and down as needed to see what part of my story I'm working on or what I need to focus on. If I need to go in and change something, I would go into that section. If I need to add a character, I'll go into the characters database, because it's a little easier to just add a new character here and fill out this table here rather than doing it in the book Bible section. But when I'm working on my novel, it's so much easier to just go in and add the word count on that specific day instead of scrolling up and down the table looking for the right day I'm supposed to be working on. I'm going to put a link in the description below the video where you can access this template and download it for yourself and hopefully put it to work for you. I know it's the first day, it's a little late, and you might have everything already plotted out, but if you find yourself with time tonight after you've done your first day of writing and you want to start plotting out tomorrow and the next day and just sort of working all of this into your workflow, then by all means, go for it. The great thing about Notion is that for the free plan, it gives you quite a bit to work with. It's very generous. And you don't necessarily need to use Notion to do all of this. A lot of what I've done here can be done in applications like Scrivener. You can do it in Google Notes. You can do it in just about any kind of text editor. It's just a simple array of documents and text documents and other things that, it might not look as clean or as simple as it does here, but you find what works for you. You could feasibly do this on paper if you wanted to. So good luck to you. Good luck for you during Camp NaNoWriMo, and I really hope this helps you in some way throughout this month. Thank you for watching, and happy writing.